I think if you don't try, you don't know. We all more powerful. We all have more potential than we think we do. The body, what limits us is our brain.
Right.
What's between our ears, the stories we've been told,
yes,
and that we choose to believe. So if you choose not to believe the stories that you've created because they're just stories, then the brain and the body are limitless.
Hi, badass athletes and followers of this weekly live show. I am so excited to be here again. And actually, I'm starstruck because today I'm going to do a live interview. And I'm so honored to have this amazing lady, Michele Santilhano from Cape Town, South Africa. But before I have her start talking about a lot of great things, let me introduce her. So Michele actually is I would call her more of a legend, actually. She started ultra triathlon even before I know how to do triathlon, or even before I know how to swim. So she's a solo race across America finisher in 2011. She has done also Epic 5 Ironman, 5 Islands of Hawaii, English Channel solo swim in 2006, Arch to Arc solo triathlon in 2012, also quintuple Ironman Mexico 2008, and she was the first female to do that. I mean, just 2020, she did, correct me if I'm wrong, like 200 miles of running, just 2020. That was last year only. Well, before I talk a lot, I know we may have a lot of days or hours to talk more about a lot of her achievement. Let me introduce you, Michele Santilhano from San Francisco. I am so excited to bring you on this live interview. Thank you so much, Michele. How are you doing today?
I'm doing just great. Thank you so much for that introduction. Wow.
I don't think I've said it a lot.
You, because your resume is also pretty star-striking.
All right. So Michele, 2 weeks from now, Michele will be one of the solo racers of Transamtri. For the Transamtri, let me tell you about the Transamtri. Transamtri actually will start in Orlando, Florida, with a 31-mile open water swim. And then now they're going to take everything, like their belongings, their sleeping pad, their food, their water, to actually cycle from Orlando, Florida to Furnace Creek, a self-support ride. So no van support. And they're going to ride in the heat of summer on June and going to Furnace Creek, California. That's about 3,100 miles of cycling. Now, after that, they are going to run 300 miles from Furnace Creek, California to Malibu, the ocean. And that will start actually May 25th. So what I want to get into it is to dig into more, like Michele. But before onto that one, actually, what I wanted to ask you, so how are you feeling about the race? How are you feeling? Like, what goes into your mind now that it's May 17 and the start of the race is in what? 8 days? And you're still at work right now, right? So how are you feeling? Are you excited? So do you feel, tell me, I want to
know. I am excited. I'm nervous. I keep going through my biggest question is whether I take a steel bike. It was built for Race Across America. It's been revamped and reviewed by the builder who built it for Race Across America. So, So I think it's the sturdy one, even if it's a bit more slow. But yeah, and I'm looking forward to the people that I'm going to meet and the adventure that awaits and the new part of the country that I'm going to see and get to know.
Yep. Well, so let me ask you, did you know about your amazing athletic potential in the past? I mean, when did you start? I mean, how was your sports journey, sports career started? What year was that? Do you remember?
It was more high school when I got into My brother has all the finesse. He's 7 years older than me. He wins. He's the national champion at sports and things.
Yeah.
But I did an outward bound course in my last year of high school. I was sponsored by Rotary, and I realized I could go longer, and even I could catch up with fast people. And so by going longer, and one thing led to another, and then I have a motto that there's always next weekend. So I term my training event training. One event prepares you for the next event.
Okay. All right. So, and then you did the Racing Across America through the English Channel. Of all these previous races, is there anything that stood out for you, or like that's really close to you, or are they all different?
They are all very different. People is your most important and most valuable asset. I say friends are the currency of life, and you cannot take them for granted. And I'm learning more and more that when I do these events that require crew or people to help, it's about me giving back.
Yes.
And making sure they have fun.
Yes, of course.
Because it's so hard work for them.
Right. What made you decide to actually be one of the solo racers for the Transamtri, which is a full distance, longest point to point across the country of ultra triathlon? So what was your reason?
It's, to me, in some ways, it's similar to arch to arc. I like doing interesting triathlons. Point to point, interesting triathlons. I like multi-sport, and I like adventure and exploring new places. And it was using the Southern Tier, whereas Race Across America uses a different route, different part of the country. So yeah.
Was it hard for you to commit to it? I mean, I know it got canceled last year.
Right.
Was it hard for you to commit last year and to stay with it until like actually in about 8 days from now? The commitment portion, because there's a lot of athletes like there's this big goal. I want that goal, but, and then there's like all the buts. But in your case, was it hard for you to commit even just for last year also?
I think, what do they say? Separation makes the heart grow fonder. And so when it was cancelled last year, it was fairly early on that it was cancelled. And then everything went into the shutdown and you really couldn't do much. And that's when I focused on CrossFit. So that was all I had.
Right.
And I think that's really saved me in many ways, and I think I'm stronger for it because I really dedicated myself to it. Although I was one of the weakest, I think it strengthened my my base.
Right. I was actually one of the weakest when I started with it. So now when you commit to something, do you have to go through a process? Like what goes to your mind? Like how are you able to say, hey, yes, I'm going to do it? Like, what are the things that you consider? What are the tools that you use to make a decision that I am going to do it and I'm going to go for it?
Yeah, it is a series, and I think you know yourself that it's a process. And first, it's the intrigue factor. I'm intrigued by it. Yeah, I think this, my coach uses a term, does it excite me? And then I take a period of meditation and prayer, and I have a very strong foundation of Christian faith, and kind of feel, is this right? Is this right for me for now? And I start investigating budgets, timing, just the practicalities. Logistics. And if I feel like what I call the doors are open, and I have a peace in my heart, and nothing's keeping me awake at night, and then I might put some money down. And if I still have peace and kind of feel this is the right step, and how am I going to think about the logistics?
Yes.
How am I going to get through the logistics? What's coming up? then, one day, I take one day at a time.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it sounds like, okay, so you commit to it. What I'm getting at is that you look into yourself. Am I excited? And then you use meditation, prayers, the Christian, also faith. And then you ask yourself, is it right for me? You look at the logistics. And then it looks like even when you committed already, you always check in with yourself. Is it still right? Right? And then what's coming up? Am I really sure? And it looks like everything has gone well. And that's why you're going to be racing on May 25th. Was there any challenges that you actually came across along the way, or everything just going smoothly?
No, there was challenges. Like
Sure.
my coach asked me, he'd been away for a few months, and he said, and he's not a one-on-one coach, he's a facilitator of the tri team that I work out with. But he said, is your body cooperating? And I said, no, we're collaborating.
Okay. So in terms of those challenges, how were you able to overcome any challenges throughout the training leading to the race? Like, what are the tools that you used besides meditation?
Listening to the language of your body. What's it saying?
Good.
Yeah. What's it saying? What do you need? Gotcha. Is it massage? Is it, and you know, if you read something new, do you follow that?
Okay.
Like Iraq.
Got it.
And awesome. Redford, yeah. So, just to kind of, is that what the body's needing to understand? And sometimes those kind of PT, sometimes skills they have skills that you can take you can practice during an event.
Got it.
So that's because the challenges that happen before is part of the preparation for when you have challenges, whether they're the same or similar during the event.
Right. So there's a lot of being mindful of what your body is telling you, and actually tapping on resources besides yourself, besides your experience, because you're very experienced already, right? But then you still like, okay, what else can I do? Because anything can happen at the race, especially across the country, right? Even on your own. All right. So let me see. So I know you have a lot of experience already with ultra endurance. So now, let's say you're going cycling, let's say swimming, right? Or cycling across the country. Give me top 3 things that you do, or what comes up in your mind when things get hard. What are the top 3 things that you do? Like, for example, let's just say weather, or like maybe, like your chain broke and you're in the middle somewhere. Like, what are the top 3 things that, usually would go to help you out?
Yeah. So when you say weather, I think safety.
Okay.
Safety. Say top 3 things, I go form, breathing, and probably, and then a variety, I have a checklist. So in terms of what's my body dynamics, what's my form, whether it's swimming, biking, or running, are my abs in? Am I doing best form? What are my arms doing? What are my legs doing? What are my ankles doing? What's my big toe doing? What's my little toe doing? Because it's all important for balance.
Yep.
And then what's my breathing? Am I doing closed mouth breathing and the nasal breathing to aid recovery and to help the body facilitate, like acclimate? For me, that's going to be the biggest thing on the East Coast with the humidity.
Right.
And then with humidity, it's going to be electrolytes or nutrition and hydration.
Right.
And then the mental is kind of wraps all of that together. Where's my mind? Do I need to sing? Do I need to remind myself of positive mantras? Do I, look for the next, what are the water towers? When I was going across in stages on my own in 2009 before a successful ram, it was chase the water towers, just focus on the water towers getting closer to you.
Gotcha. All right, that was good. So on those 3 sports that you're gonna do on May 25th, there's 31-mile swim, there's about 3,100-mile bike, and the 300-mile run. Is there any preference on all those three? Are they all different, or do you like more swimming, cycling, or running? Because you're good at all of them.
The most challenging for me is the bike because it can be so technical. If things go wrong, I need a bike shop. I'm dependent. Swimming, you can, kick for a while. You can do whatever. Backstroke, breaststroke, change stroke for a while, change your arm position, look on form, adjust.
Yes.
Whereas, and walking, you've got hiking, running, you can hike, you can crawl, you've got poles.
Yes.
You put your feet up.
You can be dragged. You can be dragged by your crew. Let's go. Or slap, let's go. All right. Okay. So the cycling, I totally understand about that, especially if you don't have the tools to fix it yourself and you're stranded. Yeah. Right. So, all right. Now the last one, if there's anyone actually who's watching this one, say #live or #replay if it's replay, and go ahead and ask questions. I know it's a short notice, but I really want to catch her before she gets busy. Hello, Christina. How are you doing? So when you are, all those achievements that you've achieved, right? Even just training, like you train hard. I want to know, I'm interested to know how you celebrate. Like what's your treat? Let's say in a workout, do you have a treat, or how do you celebrate? Like either that's a small, a hard training, or a racing across America, or arch to arc, or an ultra run. Like how do you celebrate? We would love to know.
It's different each time. It's first off, I'm celebrating safety. That I completed it and that I'm safe. And celebrating my crew who's helped me make it.
Yes.
And the support team. And then it's, usually with the really long stuff, it's actually, usually I'm tight for time, so I have to get back to work. And
sure. It was like
getting on an airplane, getting it tidied up, and getting on an airplane and getting back to work, and life goes on as normal.
And then you recover at work, right? I did that when I was an engineer. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you do any, like, let's say travel, or like sleep more maybe, or have a great dinner? Like, do you do any celebration like that? Like, how do you celebrate? Yeah.
If there's one, like Race Across America, when I was successful, they had a celebratory dinner. Sometimes I'll go to them. It's not if there's time, it just depends. For Moab 240, we were, you have a burger at the end, or a pizza at the end with the other people. And then we had to get on the road and get on an airplane the next morning.
Celebrate the shower, I would think, because I had to celebrate my shower. Like, finally, right? Oh, okay. I'm sure those burgers were so yummy, but and the pizza too. Well, so now I wanted to ask you, just those athletes, that who wanted to achieve this big goal, but it's just so big. And the thing about it is that some of the athletes, they don't have experience to actually achieve this unknown, and they are so scared of what's going to happen. What if? I would love to know, in behalf of the athletes that I'm talking about, if you can give us top 3 things that you could advise those athletes who are not sure in committing to achieving big goals.
I think if you don't try, you don't know. We all more powerful. We all have more potential than we think we do. The body, what limits us is our brain. What's between our ears, the stories we've been told, and that we choose to believe. So if you choose not to believe the stories that you've created because they're just stories, then the brain and the body are limitless. And then don't think about the what if. Break it down into one day. The body's got to stay within its physiological parameters of temperature, no matter what environment you're in, 115 or minus 15. And the body, you only have 24 hours in a day. So how are you going to break that day up?
Like problem solved, basically, right?
Yeah, you got to pee before lunch, you got to pee before dinner. How are you going to make sure that happens? You know, you got to drink and you got to eat, as you say. The body, you got to keep the body fueled.
Yes.
And take a buddy, talk about it. Find people who've done it before, or find people who've done similar. You with Foxy Coaching, and help people break it down and help people achieve more than they think they can.
Awesome. Those are great things, Michele. Thank you. So I wanted to show you, if you want to know more about Michele, here's how you're going to know more about Michele, because, you know, our quick interview is not enough to actually know more about her. She was actually featured in this book. And actually, I do have that book. It's one of my Audible. It's Hell on Two Wheels by Amy Snyder. And also she has her Facebook. Also, if you want to know more about the race, it's called Transamtri. She's doing the Transamtri Full, which is from Orlando, Florida to California. It's a total of about 3,400 miles. They do have the tracker. So it's going to be live. Now, I want to ask you, Michele, if all the athletes or individuals following you, you know, on starting May 25th, I want to ask, how can we support and help or cheer on you or follow you? How can we do that? Is that just through Transamtri, right?
There is Transamtri. There may be, I may start on my Facebook page. I may put it on my Facebook page, and then you can. And because I'm a pediatric nurse, I may put there. We're going across 7 states, so I've identified 7 children's hospitals and that have child life departments, and people will be able to donate towards a child life department in a children's hospital that they of their choice or of their state. So it can be one of the 7, or it can be, and there'll be a bit of about what child life departments, child life specialists do. They bring toys to children and books and help children and young people who are in children's hospitals have a more positive experience.
That's amazing, Michele. I'll make sure to get that link. So once we post, you know, like the final updated the content of this live, they can actually access it. I will definitely share that. Is there anything else that you would want to tell us before we watch you, Michele? We are so excited.
Go and do 3,400 minutes of exercise during the month of June.
3,400, everyone. All right, Michele, we wish you all the safety, success, luck, prayers, positivity. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're at work, still at work, even though she's about to race almost about a month. But thank you so much, Michele. I'll be in touch with you. Be safe. Bye, Michele. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, and thank you. And you have a great month yourself.
Okay, bye.
Take care. Bye.